Cortez, what's the status on the probe we launched?
Tracking it now, Commander. I've confirmed that Leviathan's signal originates from this planet. Heard how, Anne helped us locate it. It's pretty spooky stuff.
Makes you wonder what we're going to find down there.
A Reaper killer. That's what Bryson's task force was calling it. Doesn't look like it wants to be found.
It doesn't have a choice, we're here.
Right. But then what? It plays pretty rough, and if it is a Reaper, I don't know that's the kind of help we want.
Nobody says we have to be friends with it, but if this thing has the rest of the Reapers worried, then we need its help.
Commander, new readings from the probe. It's narrowed down Leviathan's location. You're not gonna like it.
Let's hear it.
There's nothing but ocean. I show a concentration of structures floating on the surface, but the probe's giving us a signal below that. Way below.
Underwater.
Looks that way. The shuttle should still be able to reach it.
That's possible?
The Kodiak is spec'd to nearly 1,000 atmospheres, but I've never actually tested that.
Guess we're gonna find out. Status!
Some kind of pulse hit us! Systems are shutting down! Brace for impact!
Everyone all right?
My suit's intact. Maybe a few bruises under it.
How's the shuttle, Cortez?
Checking now. I'll see if I can get power restored.
Copy that. We'll look around.
Look at all this. How many have been stranded here by that pulse?
Could be Leviathan's last line of defense.
You got it.
I recognize a few of these ships, but only from They're ancient.
Whoa, that was a bit of a bug. The hull will hold, that's what they say. Whatever god watches over Ezo prospectors came through for us. Despite a hell of a smack in the water landing, the MSV Monarch displaces enough air to stay afloat. We're all thankful we're alive. Captain Pratt even ordered the champagne broken out. Helps perspective, I guess. The big puzzle? What downed us in the first place? Kunshan says it wasn't lightning. It was some kind of pulse. A directed energy weapon seems likely, but where would it have come from? There's no radio traffic. The whole bloody ocean is silent. Tonight the techs are going to try rerouting the power to get a good mass drop before getting the thrusters firing. If all goes well, we'll be airborne 24 hours.
Any idea how old these are?
At CSEC, they always said the key to decomposition was scavengers. Without them, it's quite a while.
Attempts to get airborne have failed every time. The damage done by the pulses, if you could call it damage, doesn't make physical sense. The connections aren't fried, but the Monarch's thrusters disengage. The distress beacon is likewise dead, but most of our electronics are still functioning. It doesn't seem to be a result of shielding. Without a distress beacon, we've got no chance. I hear bad things about ration supplies, and I think that's why the captain ordered us to collect rainwater and set up tents on the deck. It keeps us busy. Brooks has been talking about using the Triton's weapons to try blast fishing. I agree, but I haven't seen anything that looks like a fish. I wish I were an optimist.
Shep, we got one of those artifacts.
Explains why no one gets out of here.
Oops. Dr. Chai-Lin, the rations will hold us 2 days more. Brooks sent a drone to the bottom and it came up with bioluminescent plant life. None of it is edible. I warned the crew not to eat it before my tests were done, but Romero and Mullins tried it anyway. They haven't stopped vomiting and their dehydration wastes fresh water. We sent Kunshan's team on a raft over to the wrecks. They came back with spears, some kind of organic-based alien technology. and nothing to eat. I want to believe that they'll give us some answers, but if they had helped the other ships figure out what happened, they wouldn't be here now, would they? It's getting cold. Here's my issue. Is this rain not fresh water on this planet? Captain Abel Pratt. Ramos is our first death. He tried to throw one of the spears overboard, and something happened. Kunshin and maybe 3 or 4 others started beating him like madmen. I wish I was quick enough to save him. They showed no remorse, not even comprehension. It's clear I'm no longer in control. I held a funeral to keep order. The crew would have been at his body like wild dogs. We compromised. He'll be tethered in the water to distract scavenging animals that we will catch for food. If he doesn't get a bite within 3 of this planet's days, we cut him loose as a water burial. We've sealed the Tritons off. They're dangerous, especially given the crew's mental state. My kingdom for a shark.
Looks like a damaged Atlas. Different though, and it's not flying Cerberus colors.
And it's not taking shots at us, which is nice. Doesn't look salvageable, though.
The captain gets it now. He tried to lock himself in the ship, screaming that he had to fix it. We were gentle. 1 person for each... Oh my gosh. I don't think I remember this log, but I think we're about to find out something horrible happened here. The captain gets it now. He tried to lock himself in the ship, screaming that he had to fix it. We were gentle. 1 person for each limb. We let him rest on the spear. Sometime in the middle of the night, he came around. And now he agrees. We won't leave. Why would we? I think this will be my last entry. Everyone here understands me. If anyone finds us, they might feel differently. But that can be fixed in time. It's so good not being hungry anymore. Oh, dear Lord. But then again, if they were here for a very, very long time, I could actually buy them resorting to something as horrible as this just to survive. Yeah.
Look, up
Oh
there.
boy. Oh, that's not good.
Shepard. Must have been right behind us.
Protect the shuttle!
Here we go, guys.
We're tense! Situation?
Swapping out the parts, Commander. Hang on.
Man, this shared cooldown removal mod was such a great idea. Whoever thought, hey, let's put everything on a global cooldown
Almost there, Commander.
for the second and third game? Not a great idea.
Ted, what happened to almost there?
Had a development, Commander. Fixing it now.
That's certainly a great way to cover ground.
Okay, we're clear!
Nice work, Commander. But there's a
Development.
We need to talk.
Alright.
Status.
Shuttle's a mess, Commander. That pulse knocked it right out of the air. We're not going anywhere.
Can the Normandy extract us?
Same thing would happen to her. And the landing won't be as pretty. I'd say Leviathan has some sort of defense system in place.
And we aren't getting out of here until we find it. So how do we do that?
Well, you might be able to use a mech. Looks like it's rigged for diving.
Really?
A diving mech?
It's a Triton model. Military grade, repurposed for deep sea exploration. As long as the seawater hasn't corroded, it should be good to go.
Well, if that's what we have to do, let's get started.
Hold on a second. Are we actually considering?
First, we'll need to restore power to get that cargo door open.
How?
I guess we are.
These old Ballard-class ships are equipped with exterior power sockets. They use them for emergency repairs. We can strip the cells from the shuttle and use those for juice. Hang on, I'll get you started. Got a cell for you, Commander. Find somewhere to plug that in.
Okay. You two need to have my back.
Another power cell for you, Commander.
Never a dull moment. Grab another cell, Shepard. We'll hold them off.
Got another cell here.
Cargo doors are opening, Commander. That mech is all yours. It should still have weapons capability.
Yep, I'd say so. Those are a lot of brutes.
That did it. Looks like we're in the clear now, Commander.
Good. I need to get in the water before they come back.
Roger that. Walk the mech back to me when you're ready to dive. I should check it over.
All right.
All right, Commander. Let's get you out of there, and I'll do a systems check.
Listen, Shepard. I'm all for crazy ideas, but this one's off the charts.
We've come too far to stop now. The way home is through Leviathan.
Okay, SEALs check out. Oxygen pressure is nominal. Systems are a go. It's as ready as I can make it.
Let's go.
But Shepard.
I'll be fine.
I love how concerned he sounded there.
Closing hatch.
Like he sounded legitimately scared for Shepard.
Systems. Ready.
Testing comlink.
I read you. Here goes.
Of course, whoever your love interest is going to have that line there.
2, 1.
It's just a nice touch that you bring someone who you're romancing and they just sound like legitimately concerned about Shepard right here.
Suit holding up, Commander.
Looks good so far.
Good. Getting some comm interference on the
Copy that. Cortez? Cortez!
Down, down, down. Deep into the ocean. Ah, looks like Shepard is under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. Sorry. But how many of you have a fear of going down deep into the very depths of the oceans? Just terrified of what you could find down there. You know, all those stories about some of those gigantic, legendary sea creatures like giant octopuses, gigantic sharks, you know.
Not sure if you can read me up there. Looks like I've finished the major descent. Can't see much from here. Suit is holding up. Emergency systems have come online. Life support operational. Scanner
Notice the
indicates
depth
probe
meter
is
on the right.
below my position. Looking for a way down.
Looking for the probe that we launched from the Normandy.
Shutting down all non-critical systems to preserve remaining power. Not sure how much juice the emergency thruster will need to get me back to the surface. Can't worry about that now.
Yeah, well.
Getting some strange readings from the probe. Something is definitely down there.
I remember thinking, this is a horrifying situation. Seriously. You're in this mech, you are 3,000 meters below the surface, and you're not even sure if you're going to be able to actually get back up. Because you now have to be concerned about whether or not this thing is capable of getting back up there, and whether or not it's going to have enough power and all that stuff. Like, this is a very scary situation here.
Probe directly below me. Looks like the final drop.
Here we go.
Can't see anything just yet.
I think that's my probe.
Found the probe. Seems intact. I'm gonna keep moving.
Bubbles.
What is that?
Hello, Leviathan.
You have come too far.
I had to find you.
This is not your domain. You have breached the darkness.
You killed a Reaper. I need to know why.
They are the enemy. One that seeks our extermination.
But I thought you were a Reaper.
They are only echoes. We existed long before.
Then what are you?
Something more. Your mind belongs to me. Breathe.
Man? What's happening?
Your memories give voice to our words. Your nature
The galaxy's at war with the Reapers. You defeated one. Why aren't you fighting back?
There is no war. There is only the harvest.
Then help us stop it.
None have possessed the strength in past cycles. Your own species could be destroyed with a single thought. But you are different. I have witnessed your actions in this cycle. The destruction of Sovereign, the fall of the Collectors. The Reapers perceive you as a threat. And I must understand why. Before the cycles, our kind was the apex of life in the galaxy. The lesser species were in our thrall, serving our needs. We grew more powerful and they were cared for, but we could not protect them from themselves. Over time, the species built machines that then destroyed them. Tribute does not flow from a dead race. To solve this problem, we created an intelligence with a mandate to preserve life at any cost. As the intelligence evolved, it studied the development of civilizations. Its understanding grew until it found a solution. In that instant, it betrayed us. It chose our kind as the first harvest. From our essence, the first Reaper was created. You call it Harbinger.
So, let's just say that when this came out and this cutscene happened, this conversation, that it kind of, it was polarizing. It blew some people's minds. In fact, I've mentioned that I have been keeping track with people who have been experiencing the series for the first time through playing this Legendary Edition. And you can, sometimes they label them as first time playing or blind to let you know that some people are experiencing this. And I've been watching, and some of them have just had some awesome reactions. Like, they've gotten to this point and they've just been like, whoa, this is so cool! Like, they just, loved this whole big reveal and this big lore dump here and this explanation here. And yet that's also the thing that has had some people feel very negative towards this DLC. As I said before, a lot of people didn't want this reveal. They didn't... one, they didn't want any reveal. Two, they didn't like this reveal. They thought it's one of those reveals where it's not what they wanted. They wanted something different. They wanted something that they theorized about, because we have, there's always the theory crafting and all that stuff, and there were a number of people that they're like, I theorize this, or I think it's this. And then this DLC was like, nope, it's this. And some people don't take too kindly to that. But it's also just been interesting. Now, for me, as I said before, I'm one of those who prefers an explanation, whether it's good or bad, or one that I like or dislike, as opposed to never having an explanation. Because then you get some other games like Destiny, where they don't explain anything, but that's just one example off the top of my head, and that's mainly towards the first game. I don't know if they explain anything in the second game. I've heard they didn't, but that's from secondhand knowledge, since I didn't bother playing, because I was just like, nope, I'm done with this series. But that's just an example I'm using of sometimes getting no explanation at all about something is more frustrating than getting an explanation and it just being one we either don't like or dislike or good or bad. My opinion. So, an intelligence, you say? I feel like I've heard this before. Some kind of AI intelligence that decides, maybe we should do something about all these organics that seem to be ruining everything. Now, remember what the Reaper told us after we defeated on Rannoch, that they view us as chaos, whereas the Reapers consider themselves to be order. And that's another thing I've heard in other different forms of fiction, where they try to establish certain forces as chaos and some as order to counter the chaos. It's something that they've dealt with in other sci-fi or other just fictional settings before. So this is not what I would say entirely brand new or original, but it's because it's kind of familiar. But anyways.
You built that machine despite what you saw the other races experience. Why?
You cannot conceive of a galaxy that bends to your will. Every creature, every nation, every planet we discovered became our tools. We were above the concerns of lesser species. The intelligence was envisioned as simply another tool.
And now we all pay the price for your mistake.
There was no mistake. It still serves its purpose.
How did you remain hidden all this time?
Our extermination was not complete. Some survived and found refuge in the dark corners of the galaxy. I am their progeny. Over the cycles, the thrall races were controlled, removing traces of our existence as we directed them to. In this way, our survival was kept secret from the Reapers. Today, we reach out through the fragments and watch for discovery.
Fragments? You mean the artifacts we found?
They provide a window into the galaxy. Tools for exploring the events of this cycle from the safety of this world. Through them, we watch, we study, and remain in the shadows.
How did the intelligence defeat you?
To find a solution, it required information. Physical data drawn from organic life in the cosmos. It created an army of pawns that searched the galaxy, gathering this data. There was no warning. No reason given when they turned against us. Only slaughter. Only the harvest.
Tell me about the Reapers.
Each harvest ends with the birth of a Reaper. Perfect in its design. Each formed in Harbinger's image. Our image. Each Reaper has the power to influence organics. Over countless cycles, this ability was refined, perfected, and gave rise to indoctrination.
Can I just say, I actually really like the Leviathan voice. Just how deep it is, and it's just a very cool sounding voice, in my opinion.
But what's the point of all these harvests?
The intelligence has one purpose: preservation of life. That purpose is not being fulfilled. It directed the Reapers to create the mass relays to speed the time between cycles for greatest efficiency. The galaxy itself became an experiment. Evolution its tool.
Will it ever end?
Unknown. Until the intelligence finds what it's looking for, the harvest will continue.
What do you know about the Crucible?
We have watched its construction before. It has never been completed. Those who have tried still fell victim to the harvest. Its outcome is unknown.
Okay, you made your point. Will you help stop the cycle?
I have searched your mind. You are an anomaly, yet that is not enough.
Wait!
The cycle will continue.
No! You've been watching. You know this cycle is different.
We will survive. You will remain here as a servant of our needs. The Reapers will harvest the rest.
You release me, no one has to be harvested.
Nothing will change.
Before we hear Shepard's response to that, I want you guys to take a moment to remember what we heard in the last part, when Shepard was talking to Hackett and she said, "Why me? Why put me in charge of all this?" And think back to what Hackett told her.
The Reapers know where you are. You can't just watch anymore. You have to fight. Even if you survive the battle today, the Reapers won't stop. Ever. Release me and we have a chance to end this once and for all.
So yeah, there's more than one.
Your confidence is singular.
I've earned it. Out there fighting, where you should be.
It is clear why the Reapers perceive you as a threat. Your victories are more than a product of chance. We will fight, but not for you or any lesser race. We were the first, the Apex race. We will survive. And the Reapers who trespass on this world will understand our power. They will become our slaves. Today, they pay their tribute in blood.
Time to go, Shepard. See you, Leviathan. Oh boy.
Shepard's back. Cortez, talk to me.
We're good to go. I don't know what the commander did, but the pulse is offline.
I'm so amused I'm hearing those gunshots from Tally's weapon. Like, based on what we're seeing, it shouldn't sound like that.
Reaper inbound.
It's okay, he'll take care of that.
Shepard, wake up! She's freezing. You okay?
Yeah. I'm fine. Hell of a headache.
Never do that again.
I've got Ann Bryson on the comm.
Good. Put her through.
Commander.
You feeling better?
Yes, thank you. I'm doing fine. What happened?
We found it, Ann. We found Leviathan.
Was it worth it?
Can I just comment real quick? I love... Now, as I said before, whoever your love interest is going to play that role right there. And they will say basically the same line. They'll tell Shepard, don't ever do that again. But I just love the way Garrus, Brandon Keener, said that. Never do that again. Just sounding like he was just so scared for Shepard's well-being there. I just love how he did that.
I don't know. We proved it can't hide anymore. That it's a part of this war just like us.
Sounds like an amazing story.
One for the history books.
Well, I look forward to hearing all about it. My father would appreciate this, knowing the truth is out there. In the meantime, Admiral Hackett has asked me to join his scientific team. We all have our part to play. I should get to it.
Take care, Ann. And thanks for all your help.
Shepard out.
Commander, I finished reading your report.
The Alliance wanted more intelligence on the Reapers. I'd say we got it.
Our people will be studying it for years to come. They're already calling it the Leviathan Codex. It rewrites galactic history as we know it.
Whatever else it means, it tells me the Reapers had a beginning. And maybe now we'll provide them with an end.
That's one way to look at it. I guess it's the only way. So go out there and make it happen. This is a big step in the right direction, Shepard. Good work.
Thank you, sir.
Hack it out.
So that got us. The Leviathan Enthrallment Team, 400 points alone. A mixed species team of special operations soldiers have volunteered to covertly deliver Leviathan artifacts behind enemy lines. These attacks aim to make Reaper creatures thralls of the Leviathans. On a small scale, this could cause chaos and disruption. On a large scale, and if given enough time, it could form an army of Reaper creatures dedicated to exterminating their own kind. The team's major limiting factors are the small number of artifacts and the reluctance of Alliance commanders to operate openly with such a potent weapon for fear the Reapers might develop a countermeasure. We also got Dr. Ann Bryson, 20 points. Has survived her ordeal with Leviathan's artifact and retains most of her mental faculties. Her research into paleotechnology could be useful in understanding the Prothean device and the laws of high-energy physics that the Reapers seem to ignore. And we got some other stuff while we were also searching the other systems, looking for the planet that Leviathan was on. So, but yeah, those are the two big ones. Now, that Ann Bryson one is dependent on whether or not you actually let her stay under control of the artifact long enough. But this is the big takeaway right here. The Leviathan team for 400 points of war assets. That's the big takeaway here. So, I like how it says the chances are even as a way of being, basically that's as good as it's going to say.
The Reaper before the introduction.
Essentially nothing was known of the aquatic species dubbed Leviathans before Commander Shepard's report to Task Force Aurora. No record of their species' true name exists, no ruins are attributed to their civilization, and no influence on other races has been recorded. The Task Force can only conjecture based on the limited information provided by Shepard. Their current world is unlikely their home world, so it is surmised that the Leviathans master technology and spaceflight despite their immense size and aquatic nature. Their ability to communicate with and mentally dominate land-based sapients would have been a necessary step, and so whatever homeworld the Leviathans hail from would have included a thrall species whose civilization served their purposes. Presumably their bodies can withstand both the extreme pressure of the depths and the lesser pressure of a coastal area where they might come into contact with these thralls. Transporting a creature the size of the Leviathan into space would have been a significant engineering challenge. It is likely they used EZO for ease of travel, as the Hanar do, and employed cybernetic filtration to breathe air as well as oxygenated water. It is unknown if the Leviathans have modified themselves with the equivalent of a biotic amplifier, but it seems probable. The faster-than-light communication of their pulses would require precise control previously unknown to modern science. One can only guess at the innovations of this species, and the Leviathans are volunteering no such information. The Reaper War updates. Faced with utter annihilation, military planners have considered extreme solutions in their quest to stop the Reapers. The two most plausible are the destruction of mass relays and the use of starships as suicide weapons. Destroying a mass relay to stop the Reapers' advance is infeasible. Although it has recently been proven that mass relays can be destroyed, a ruptured relay liberates enough energy to ruin any terrestrial world in the relay's solar system. It would take too long to evacuate the millions or billions of people living near each relay, and the Council is unwilling to sacrifice that many lives when combat stands a chance of saving them. Even if a garden world were to survive the relay's destruction, the Reapers have infinite patience. They traveled out of dark space using conventional FTL travel within the galaxy is not an insurmountable barrier. Meanwhile, starships are too costly to be used as projectiles. Given that it would take many collisions to seriously harm a Reaper, some armchair admirals suggest that a single starship traveling faster than light could obliterate a Reaper capital ship. But all ships based on Mass Effect technology possesses hardwired safety features to prevent FTL collisions. If a ship's FTL plotter finds a significant object in the path of a planned jump, the FTL drive refuses to fire in the first place. This is not a perfect safety measure. The sensors can only scan for objects within a reasonable distance at light speed, and a navigator must plot the rest of the course. But it is so inherent to the FTL warm-up process that removing it is not impossible. Cynical intelligence analysts note that the secret of Mass Effect technology, including that safety system, has always been attributed to the Protheans, just as the mass relays were. The Quarians' plan to take back their homeworld was risky and could easily have led to their annihilation if a peaceful solution had not been found. In an initial battle against the Reaper upgraded Geth ships, the Quarian found their heavy fleet and a portion of the patrol fleet outmatched. To stave off defeat, the Quarians retreated at FTL speeds to rally with the civilian fleet on the far side of Rannoch's sun, Tikkun. Temporarily hidden, but with only minutes of advance warning should a Geth scout spot them, the Quarians planned counterattacks to disrupt the Geth link with the Reapers. First preying on a damaged Geth dreadnought, the Quarians followed by sending strike teams to Rannoch's surface to destroy the Reaper that was transmitting improved software to Geth forces. When the Reaper uplink was disrupted, the Geth suffered momentary downgrades in response time and intelligence, allowing the Quarians to press their advantage. But an emergency order from Commander Shepard and Admiral Shalaran Vostonbe broke off hostilities before the Geth's full capabilities were restored. It is to the Quarians' credit that all three fleets obeyed the order to cease fire, even the civilian fleet, which had little combat experience. The Geth, for their part, bore no ill will towards enemy combatants and broke off hostilities with perfect discipline. It remains to be seen how the Geth and the Quarians will manage to coexist on Rannoch. For now, they have committed their considerable military forces to repel the Reapers. Given the long-lasting animosity between the Geth and the Quarians, it is possible that the Reapers did not plan for the possibility of such an alliance and will be unprepared to contend with both armadas. Well, it's not just those armadas that we're bringing. We're bringing many more than that. Okay.
Commander?
Really? You have nothing to say after all that? Hey, Shepard, got all the family settled and everyone's working 24/7 now. Rodriguez has stripped a husk's head off. Maybe some hope for her yet. Glad you were the one to talk to the Reaper. I would have just shot it some more for spite. Projections from the terraforming project on Tuchanka are worse than expected. Our preliminary scans suggest that the Geth device is having no impact whatsoever on the bitter environment. Excuse me. Our leading theory is that the work... Hold on a second. Just my nose was bothering me there. No impact whatsoever on the bitter environment. Our leading theory is that the work to incorporate the device into the Crucible has damaged the system, thus rendering it ineffective. We have attempted to contact engineers that worked on the Crucible, but they are understandably too busy to reply. Due to this, we have decided to put the project on hold until the war is over. Well, that's unfortunate. I honestly don't remember whether or not anyone has anything to say, but they should, though. After what we just found out, they should have something to say.
Commander?
So the Reapers did not fully exterminate their creators. That suggests they are fallible, even on large or long-term scales. Maximum dynamic pressure is approaching. Throttle down for minimal resistance.
Thanks, Mom.
If that is how you categorize me, I will tell you to stop slouching. Hello, Shepard.
Yep, that sounds like something a mom would say.
I've been thinking about what we learned, Shepard. The thing is, I don't really care what the Reapers are or where they're from. They're monsters that need to be put down. That's all I need to know. Hey there.
Okay.
There is new information on the private messages terminal.
I can only imagine talking to something so huge, so alien. I hope it helps against the Reapers.
Just in case you wanted to read that.
Shepard, I looked over your mission report. Gotta say, it feels like we've been after these Reapers forever. From Sovereign to Leviathan, they've been a pain in the ass the whole time. But at least we're starting to see the big picture. Never really thought we'd get any answers. Doesn't change much, but it does make this war feel a whole lot bigger. Maybe later.
No comment from him about how he's like, never go under water like that ever again.
Hello, Commander.
So sad that Chakwas has barely anything to say in this game. Cortez, you were awesome down there, man.
Can't say I was happy sending you down in that submersible by yourself. Don't know why I ever worry about you. Take on ancient aliens from the deep? Sure, no problem. Supplies are holding out.
Yeah, this is just a Tuesday for me, Cortez.
With the Leviathan on our side, maybe we pull this thing off after all.
Maybe, James.
At least Anne's still around to see her dad's work finally pay off. Ready when you are.
Hey there.
Breaking now, the Exodus cluster under heavy attack. Eden Prime and Terra Nova about to fall. Do we fight for them, or join the Solarians at the Horsehead Nebula? How many worlds can we afford to lose? The full analysis tonight in the battle space. Commander.
A lot of people just have nothing to say.
Do you ever feel awkward being the only Turian on the ship?
I don't know. Should I?
I just mean not having anyone else like you around.
Doesn't seem to bother Liara.
But she can eat their food. So we have Leviathan. I hope it stays on our side. Hey.
Commander. Power grid is in the green.
Commander?
It seems you believed Protheans built the mass relays. The Reapers are cunning in their deception, allowing life to flourish, century upon century, letting us believe ourselves the masters of the cosmos. Then the truth becomes known. There are monsters in the dark spaces, and we are their prey. Your Liara Asari asks many questions. You would think she'd never seen a Prothean before.
Commander.
Alright. So, that was the Leviathan DLC. When we return, do you guys want to hang out with Arya T'Loak for a while? You want to help her take back Omega from Cerberus? Well, then stay tuned.